And good morning. That is the wrong camera, was it not? Welcome. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. We're getting ready for a wonderful morning show. Hope you'll join us at 7 o'clock for the local events as we'll move toward that. This morning, it's hot. Before daylight, it even reached 81 at some point, and that's down to 79 at this point. That's hot, isn't it? We do have some showers. Let's go to Doc's Toyota Radar. If you're in Enterprise this morning, you are getting wet. Otherwise, we're going to have these showers beginning probably sometime after 1 o'clock this morning. But look at this. Enterprise Stonewall area. Wet, 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 and wet. The further you get toward Jasper County, the heavier the rain is in those areas there. So be careful if you're traveling anywhere on 59 right along in there. There's the Dollar General, Enterprise, all those areas. Coming up on Rose Hill on 513 with some showers, and Highway 11 in those areas there. So be careful in northwestern Clark County and the eastern side of Jasper. A few showers around Laurel and Richton this morning as well. As we go over to Thomasville, Grove Hill, Alabama, Camden, those areas getting some light showers also. Nothing major, but a thunderstorm or two. That one's pretty good now around Enterprise in those areas. Be careful, be careful. We don't need any incidents this morning as we begin this. Now, again, we'll be back live here in a few moments at 7 to give you all the local headlines of what's going on in and around the area. We'll get you updated on that. Good morning, Jerome. Steve is up. Miss Janice, Mark, Rick. Good to see each and every one of y'all. We'll be back in just a moment as we'll switch gears here now, get a little religion going. Everybody needs that. As when Hody walked in, I had to have, every now and then you got to have a good gospel song. And I was caught up in Tom T. Hall. Me and Jesus got our own thing going. Boy, if you hadn't listened to that in years, go back and listen to that song. It was good. I like me some Tom T. Hall. We'll be right back. Let's go get that message now.
A couple of Saturdays ago, we had a young man on a scooter pull up to our house and he rang the doorbell. I opened the door, really having no idea what he might want. And he was well groomed and looked like a nice young man, but after we greeted each other, he proceeded to ask me if I might be interested in purchasing a home security system. The young man had a stack of cards with what looked like information from a legitimate company, and he offered me one. And I was not interested in the system. And after taking a little, or talking to the young man a little bit, he asked me if I might have something for him to drink. I invited him in and went to the fridge to get a sports drink and gave it to him. He thanked me for the drink and he hurried on his way. A few days later, someone in our community put out a Facebook post asking if a young man trying to sell security systems had come to any of the other houses in our neighborhood. The concern was that he might be trying to scam people and deceive them into giving him money. The young man obviously had moved on from the neighborhood. In 2 John, the apostle says in verse 7, many deceivers who do not acknowledge Jesus Christ as coming in the flesh have gone out into the world. Any such person is the deceiver and the antichrist. John knew that the false teachers were a problem for the church of that day. They would travel around denying Christ, seeking to turn faithful followers of Jesus away from the truth. He said these people were deceivers and the antichrist. We continue to face deceivers and antichrists today. There are still those who deny Christ and seek to turn people towards false beliefs. We need to be on alert and meet the challenge of continuing to proclaim the truth about Christ found in the Scriptures. This poses a much greater threat than a guy on a scooter who might be trying to scam you out of a few bucks. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And good morning, Jamie Lynn, watching us all the way from New Orleans, Louisiana. Hope everything is good there. My extreme caution, traffic in New Orleans. Those folks there, they just don't quite drive like us Mississippians. Well, there's more of them. But they seem very angry this time of morning trying to get to where they're going. Just be careful. Them and those Houston Knights. Woof. Overnight, one of the biggest headline stories that we have is the Russian earthquake that happened, which has caused some tsunami warnings. They've downgraded a little bit. Japan was getting worried, as well as Hawaii. They've downgraded it for Hawaii from an extreme to a smaller one there. But let's, even though have different thoughts than us, we still send prayers for folks. Russia, let's hope everything is good. It was huge when it comes to the earth. 8.8 magnitude is what I'm being told this morning. So that's major as we look at Russia. I'm sure film will be coming out of there before long, showing us what happens there. Yesterday in Los Angeles, a shooting happened at a daycare. It was a residential daycare, as often we see that, where people take care of children in their homes. 2 people were shot at that. I think all children are okay, but still, what was going on there? We hope everything is fine and all kids are safe and taken somewhere else this morning. I guess this is a thing. Every now and then you'll see a movie about this, to where, and I'm going to call it a gang because it's one or more. It's 6 ladies. Ladies is probably the wrong term for this, but Massachusetts, they arrested 6 women. They're calling them a burglary gang. They were on a roll there after they were taken into custody with a quick ID check. Well, 3 of them were here illegally. ICE has been called in to remove 3 from the U.S. of A. Imagine that. Do y'all remember Tupac Shakur, who I'm talking about? He was happened in Atlanta, if I remember right. He was murdered some few years ago. And years after years after years, they arrested a guy for the murder of that. Well, he's been sitting in jail, nothing brought forth, and to my knowledge, not really any criminal charges that hold any water. His attorneys are going, let him go, dismiss these charges. What will happen? I don't know. We'll see with that, but he's ready to get out. They're saying that he ordered the 1996 killing of Tupac. We're unsure. That we can't say one way or the other. We only know that he was detained and arrested. Here's a headline for you this morning, and it made me chuckle. As a matter of fact, I had a sip of coffee in my mouth, and I almost got it all over all the computer screens. King Charles is allegedly appalled by Donald Trump's recent comments on immigration in the UK. And it says, I guess King Charles forgot about the memo. We stopped caring about what he thinks in 1776. Ruh-roh. A lot of truth to that. Let's see here. Chuck Schumer. Man, if you were to put me and him in a room together, I don't even know if we could agree on ice cream. He's just way away from what I think. He says that poor people, and I'll leave it at just that. He went on to say more, that poor people are incapable of obtaining ID for voting. You have to have ID for just about anything that you do. If you get electricity turned on, you have to show your ID. If you go to school, you have to show an ID and prove where you live. What is the difference to where you go vote showing that I am an American citizen? Is it not and I'm asking honestly, is it not a law that says you have to be a U.S. citizen to vote? Yes. It is? Yeah. So what is the problem here?
Nobody wants to abide by it.
Yeah, they do not want to abide by it. I agree with that. It's simple in my mind. You could even take this a step further, and if they truly, truly don't want to carry an ID, let's fingerprint everybody in the United States that is a citizen. And when you go in to vote, you put your fingerprint down. Does it match? Are you an American citizen? Then you wouldn't have to carry one around, would you? That's just a thought. I mean, that may go as far as my thought about updating the scales there when you get your driver's license. It just may not work out for me. Phil Collins, y'all remember him from Genesis? Against All Odds is the only thing that I can think of at the moment, but he's been hospitalized. He's been in there for knee surgery. There was a lot of rumors out that he was in there for hospice, and he goes, nah, hang on. I had knee surgery. So things are looking up for him. Do y'all know I'm going to say his name wrong, and I always warn you when I know that I can't pronounce it. This guy that is trying to run for mayor of New York, Zohran Mamdani. Is it close?
Yeah, something like that.
He's pledging to disband key police units that handle mass shootings. Think about what I just said, that part that you could understand, not his name. I can't say it. Wants to disband those. This next story reminds me so much of Meridian, Mississippi. Oh, I go back when we had a police chief that didn't quite understand the law, that when a new mayor came in, didn't know that she no longer had a job. It reminds me of that. The good old days, I guess you could say there, Odie.
Yes, right.
We go to Cincinnati. And have y'all watched the police chief? It's a lady. And she truly said this. Her name is Teresa Tiggy. I'm close. Pretty close there. Close enough counts in horseshoes, doesn't it? She is asking residents not to film crime because, well, it makes Cincinnati look bad. Let me repeat that. She wants citizens not to film crime because it makes Cincinnati look bad. How about let's not break the law and let's have people arrest people who break the law? And what I'm referring to is the lady. This is a female that was attacked by at least 5 people, kicked and beat in Cincinnati, and it was filmed so the world could see. What's disturbing is 100 people watched and no one stepped up and said, wait a minute, you can't do this. Now, could it have led to other things? It could have. But yet we have people like this in charge. And Wesley says, is he a citizen? I'm assuming, I don't know much about this guy. I have not done any research. Now, I did research this, and this is going to make somebody mad, but I thought I should repeat what this guy said. It's supposed to make some people mad. Anybody ever heard of a guy named Matt Walsh? I had not until this morning. And I looked it up, and it says that he was born in '86. He is a political commentator and podcast host of the Matt Walsh Show. He made a post on X this morning, and woof, I'm telling you, he's just to make somebody mad at this statement. He says law enforcement is a man's job. There shouldn't be any female police officers on patrol, and certainly there should be no police chiefs leading entire departments. Like I said, he's going to make some people mad, but I've never heard of him. Have you heard of him? Matt Walsh. That's his 2 cents on what's wrong. Now, I go back and remind you, I don't agree with her, and I don't think she knows what she's doing. Don't film crime. I mean, come on. Spartacus is at it again. Y'all remember him? Cory Booker. And I would play you the clip, but it's just downright, what were you thinking? He was mad at American Eagle, and I really don't get it. In a rant, he gets up and is totally upset that American Eagle used a thin, the way he described her, very well fitted, nice looking woman, and wanted to know why they didn't use a fat woman for their commercial. I don't know. As we all know this, it has been since time. When it comes to sales and ads, anything that catches your eyes, sex sells. And I'm not talking about the act, I'm talking about sex in general. Men and women, good-looking people sell things. That's why there's, I don't, he's one of those I don't think he and I could discuss things. He goes way out there. This is my Spartacus moment. He even had to announce it was his moment. WNBA, and I've heard of her, Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, she's always in a fight.
Yeah, she's in a fight with somebody. Somebody's been arrested for stalking her and harassing her.
Well, they must be in bad shape.
I was not going to say that, Odie. That was background chatter from the studio audience, y'all. Don't you bring up the Saturday Night Live Coyote Ugly kit.
Happy. I bet she's happy she got stalked.
But she did. Stalkers, on the other hand, on the serious side, are sometimes very, very serious. They go way off. Here's something that I learned on this. This guy that went into New York and killed, including himself, 5 people. Do y'all realize that he accidentally got on the wrong elevator? He went up, there's 2 elevators. One goes up to the NFL where he wanted to go, and he took the wrong one. How many would he have killed on the elevator? I don't know. It's sad anyway that 4 innocent people lost their lives. Eric Adams wants to investigate why guns are being sold. How about why crime is being committed? Let's lock them up. My oh my. CNN. And you will never catch me doing this. You never know, because I cannot tell you the times that we've had shootings that we have no idea who did it. You don't. You just know sometimes that a male did this. He's not wearing a shirt. He's wearing a white T-shirt or a jacket, and he went yonder way. We leave it at that. We never, ever, ever guess race, color of eyes, because you don't know. CNN didn't quite do that. Erin Burnett claimed the active shooter a certain race before she knew. And she was wrong. That would be why so many Americans don't trust CNN. Just putting it out there. Now, this was done as a joke. And I say this because I have witnessed this before. I've been in a restaurant, and we sometimes eat with a former judge in town. And one of the funniest things that ever happens is when people walk by and they try to kiss his bald head as a prank, as a joke, and he doesn't like it and he pushes them off. We go to the Raiders, the NFL team Raiders. They were in a meeting, and a guy jokingly, and I kid you not, jokingly kissed the head of the guy next to him. The guy was offended. He was turned into HR, and he has been done away with from the Raiders team.
And he plays football?
Christian Wilkins is the guy that kissed the other guy on top of the head as a joke. It was playful. Everybody in there admitted it was just a joke. And as Odie just said, and he played football. And you're going to get your feelings hurt over this.
I bet he took his ball and went home.
What happened to manly men? Men with a man card. There is a such thing. It's kind of like Dear Virginia. Yes, there is a man card. Find yours today. Purchase you one. Try it. Sometimes things just get me bent out of shape, and somebody needs to say it. My, oh my, oh my. Let's see here. Marjorie Taylor Greene says she's not running for governor of Georgia. There's a lot of rumors out there, and she said, basically, if I was running for governor, everybody would know it, because I'd be all over the state knocking on doors going, I'm running for governor. She's going to stay put where she is. I think she gets more done the way it's being handled now. We have an Arizona woman that's going to be sentenced for a $17 million information technology scandal. And what do I mean by that? She placed dozens, basically, spies and companies in their IT department for cash from another country so they could steal information. Wickedness is everywhere, is it not? Now, anybody got their own computer? After the show this morning, a little after 8, I highly suggest going to the, this is going to be the X account, I believe, of the White House. Do you know those cute commercials they make about taking vacations? Jet off to the wild blue yonder. Yeah. The White House has made their very own commercial, and it's about self-deportation. Please watch this. This is their X account. Jet 2 Holiday is what it's called. Who says the White House doesn't have a sense of humor? Take a look at that when you get a chance today. It will make you laugh. Jesse Waters, y'all know him from Fox. He's pretty popular at this point. He kind of stepped up to the plate after we lost Bowtie Guy. What's his name? Started his own little company there. Oh, I know it. He took the place of Bill Riley after Bill Riley got caught up in that scandal of all the women, and I'll think of his name in a minute. But Jesse Waters is kind of like the new one next to Sean Hannity. He's referring to, and this is big. This truly is big. Not many people are talking about it. He's calling him Daddy Trump, as the other guy did when he was over there. what he has returned with from Scotland is $1 trillion man now. This is a deal that $1 trillion was booked with them. Do y'all realize how good Tucker Carlson? Thank you, Tucker Carlson. Thank you, Maria. I appreciate that. I couldn't get it out. I could see his face in that little bow tie that he used to wear. But Jesse took the place of it. But $1 trillion deal that was made with Scotland. They're going to invest, and this is going to be huge for American companies selling to Scotland, y'all. This is big. Now, let me just ask this. I'm not sure I agree with this. Is the reason I asked this. Your opinion of this. Now, what is it? 38 trillion that we're in debt.
Yeah.
The national debt. With this being said, all these new trade tariffs that have been put in is bringing cash back into the United States. My vote is we owe $38 trillion. Let's take that money and pay off our debt. That's what the average household would do. Am I not right? It's being floated around, and don't get me wrong, every American could use a little bit of money, but it's being floated of a possible $600 rebate check being mailed to every American for these trade deals that are done. Now, would that take the heat off politically of someone for a little while and change their mind maybe on the tariffs? I don't know. But my suggestion is take that money, pay the debt off, and let's get this thing down to where future generations will have an America. My 2 cents, it may not go very far, but it probably will be the opposite way, won't it?
Cut mailbox money in half and pay your debt off.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we can cut that on, isn't it? Now, anybody, the girl Caitlin that we mentioned a while ago, she's in the Women's National Basketball Association. Oh, did you ever watched any of that?
No.
I have never, I have to admit, I don't even watch the NBA. I'm just not a basketball watcher. This is just disruptive. It makes me giggle to talk about it. Basketball is probably not the place to wear your wig.
No.
The game stopped because her wig fell off during the basketball. She was trying to shoot, somebody come by and it hit her hair and her wig fell off and she ran out embarrassed off the court. And
Did the guy with the mop come out there?
I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm being serious. Basketball is a contact sport. You're up against each other. What makes you think your wig is going to stay on while you're running up and down a court out of breath? Hello, hello, hello. Here's something that I didn't understand. Because I think the thing's like 2,000 pages, that big, beautiful bill thing. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Inside this, and I wrote this down, so the corporate average fuel economy. Anybody ever heard of that? It's called CAF. It's to where automakers, if they build a car, it has to make a certain amount of gas mileage, or they get fined millions and millions upon millions of dollars. Well, they've been trying for 50 years to try to cut this red tape on it. It happened back in the 70s when we had that shortage of gas. Y'all remember that? Some of you don't. Some of you weren't born. But a quick fix. Trump done this in the bill. He put the fine at 0. Now they'll go to work on trying to fix it. So get ready for some fast cars and freedom coming back to America. They put the fine at 0. They will try now to legislatively get rid of that to where automakers can build cars and not worry about that. We'll be right back and we'll do your forecast.
Hi, this is Nick at Doc's Toyota, and we are excited to put you in a new Toyota today. We have no dealer markup, no hidden fees, no hassle, and our inventory is always priced to move. Our top-notch sales department and first-class service after the sale guarantees you a fast and comfortable buying experience like you've never had. So come see why month after month, more and more customers have chose to buy from Doc's Toyota. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia, at docstoyota.com or on Facebook, and remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
For over 40 years, you've been able to count on Watt Equipment in DeKalb, Mississippi. They've got your Massey Ferguson's brand new 23 up to 135 horse cab and air tractors. They've got all your hay equipment needs, all your bush hogs. If your tractor needs it, they got it. Also remember, they service all makes and models, whether it's green, orange, blue, red, or yellow. They can get your parts in, they can do your service on your equipment. Don't forget Watt Equipment, DeKalb, Mississippi.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
Karen, you're right. It was not Caitlin. I just don't know any of the players in the women's basketball. I didn't know her name, but I watched the video and the wig fell off from the court. It was funny. But that was the only name that I knew from the WNBA. So, all right.
Put it back on.
No, she grabbed her wig and ran off the court to the locker room to put it back on, I guess. It's downright embarrassing. Your weather forecast, your record highs and your record lows. 1986, it was 102 today. We'll hit somewhere around 97 with a heat index of 109. Back in 14, it was 56 degrees on this date. We have no update from Jackson on the local. I thought we'll just pause for a moment. Look at that. Boy, they're on that. Let's go to Alabama. They got up early and went to work today. 94 in Demopolis. We'll see that in Birmingham. 92 in Clanton. And even over in Auburn, nice weather, 91. As we look here, whoof, it's hot. Wednesday. Now, again, we're hitting it at 109. We're in an elevated 2. I really think this is going to be upgraded before the afternoon is out like it was yesterday. As we look to our west, they could see up to 120. Anywhere from Newton, Mississippi, back west into Jackson is going to be hot. And even Pachuta could see those 110, 120 heat index. Be careful there. We'll see that it gets a little bit better tomorrow, and it'll be from Jackson west back to Vicksburg into Louisiana with those temperatures. As we'll see this, more of the heat wave coming from the west. Look at that coming into West Texas. All right, here's our temperatures for today, 96 to 97, depending upon where you are. 70% chance of showers on this early, tweaking that a little bit to possibly a 50%. We'll see 60% by tomorrow, 70% Friday, 50% chance on Saturday. Did anybody mention this is the weekend of the Neshoba County Fair? Well, you're right. There's always rain at the Neshoba County Fair. We'll see 50% on Monday and Tuesday. And let's see what we have for next week there as we get into the 6th. We'll still have a 20% chance of rain, and that will linger back and forth all the way through the 13th there. Highs in the mid-90s, nighttime lows around 70, 71 in that neighborhood. Not bad at all. As we look at our fishing forecast this morning, we head out to Clarkdale Superette. Perfect time to fish today is 4:30 this afternoon till about 6:30. Now, minor time this morning right at 11 until high noon. You can get some good fish then. Sunrise happens at 6:08 this morning. Sunset at 7:53. That wind's going to be calm around 5 miles an hour east-northeast there. So something good to do. And as we look at the tropics, absolutely nothing happening in the Gulf of America. Can't complain about that, can we? It's already 6:57. We're going to take a quick pause, and we'll be back with the morning show. Don't miss out on it. It's all coming up. We'll find out about the Boy Scouts of America. And I think I said that wrong, didn't I? It's the Scouts of America now? Scouting. That's tough to say, y'all. He's going to have to forgive me there. I always grew up what they call something else. We'll check into all that all the way coming up here at the Scotty Ray Report.